want to link what you're saying to the official emergency of the day, which we are told is this humanitarian crisis on our border with Mexico. So, first of all, is that an issue in reality, or is that just a fantasy of the president? And secondly, how does the president's focus on this so-called humanitarian crisis relate to the effort, such as it may be, of the intelligence community of the United States to deal with the issues that you're raising?
Well, it's all a question of where you put your priorities. And, the president, for obvious political reasons, doesn't follow the ranking that you see in that Director of National Intelligence assessment to Congress. Now, the next assessment is due next month, because it comes out in February of every year. So pity poor Dan Coates, who's got to sit here with his ranking: cyber, terrorism, nuclear proliferation, rise of China, rise of Russia. In last year's report, you get to the bottom of page 14 before you get to the first issue that vaguely goes across the border, and it had to do with transnational shipment of drugs and the drug, particularly the opioid crisis in the United States. Very serious crisis. Most of those drugs are coming through normal entry points. They're not coming over the wall. But this is the problem when you try to take a sort of rational explanation of the threats and try to apply it as a matter of policy to a political environment, right? So the president didn't campaign on, I'm going to build us the biggest internet filter on earth. He said, I'm going to build us the longest wall on earth. And that's part of the difficulty. You ask, we just had a story on this in yesterday's Times, that you ask the intelligence professionals like, Nick Rasmussen, who used to run the National Counterterrorism Center until a year ago, or others of his colleagues, where does this rank? And his answer is pretty low on my list of all other things. So then you can ask, what did the Trump administration do to go deal with cyber? And they actually started off pretty well. They had a Homeland Security advisor in Tom Bossert who understood the topic matter, had dealt with cyber issues a lot during the Bush administration, and spent some more time working on them in the private sector during the Obama years, and came back in as a Homeland Security advisor. I didn't agree on every analysis of the problem he had, but he was certainly very capable of dealing with it. Then they had a cyber coordinator at the White House, a job that had started at the very end of the Bush administration and grew in power in the Obama administration. And they picked for that a guy you probably never heard of named Rob Joyce, but very well known in the intelligence community because he had run the TAO, the Tailored Access Operations Unit of the NSA. That's the sort of special forces of the NSA that breaks into foreign computer systems and executes operations like Olympic Games. And just like a bank wants to go hire an experienced bank robber, if you want to go figure out how you're going to go defend your systems, you want to take somebody who's devoted his life into breaking into the most secure systems around the world elsewhere, because you're not likely to take a lot of nonsense from people who tell you, oh, my system's secure. So what happened to those? John Bolton came in, and the first thing he did was get rid of Bossert within 48 hours, in part because he had a direct line reporting to the president, and I think that Mr. Bolton had a different concept of how he wanted to go organize the National Security Organization, in which only he had that direct line. The cybersecurity coordinator's job, eliminated. Not just that he got rid of the person, he got rid of the office. So this concept of where offense and defense, which is blurry at best in cyber anyway, gets put together at the White House, not getting put together at the White House. So that's about where we stand.